Definitely want to have it at normal difficulty. Not going for too challenging of an approach, but I still want to have a little bit of difficulty. Obsidian. Actually, one of my more favorite game developers out there right now. I've never actually gone through and played this game all the way.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Don't stop the caravan on my behalf. Alright. I think I'll be male for this one. What are all the races we got? The Amua, slightly aquatic, dwarves, elves, Orlins. I guess these are the rough equivalents of like halflings or something like that. You got the godlike. Very, very shiny. I'm thinking I want to do more of a fighter build type. Because I know that there's some weird magic systems in this that I never fully grasped on some of my playthroughs, like what are they, the chanters. So I'm thinking laying a dwarf. Yeah, let's go with the dwarf. Oriel. Local dwarves accuracy against wilder or primordial types versus mountain dwarves. Bonus to defend against poison and disease attacks. I think I'll just stick with that. I want to do some sort of like tanky build. I don't want to go full just straight boring fighter. So maybe a barbarian or a paladin. Could get a little bit of healing. Faith and conviction, inherent bonuses to all their defenses. Values may shift based on reputation. Okay, so this is very much for a true RP build. Versus Carnage. When they hit with melee attacks, they automatically make reduced damage enemies attack all other enemies within a short distance of their target. I like that, actually. You know, being able to just cleave through a bunch of people at once. Yeah, I like me barbarian. I'm playing a barbarian now in my D&D campaign, so it just kind of feels right, you know? Alright, we got Frenzy. Sends the barbarian into a frenzy. Okay, so you got Rage. Versus Barbaric Yell. Scares people. I mean, when you're a barbarian, you have to go with being able to rage. That's just a requirement. Alright, so we got a few points. Definitely want to bump up Constitution as much as we can. A little bit into Dex. Increase. Why is Intellect one of the secondary stats for a barbarian? Just makes no sense. At least every barbarian I've ever played. Intelligence is always the dumb stat. I'm thinking one more here. And then one more here. Have Con be the main, Might, then Dex. Ooh, Culture. I always forget about this. Honestly, I don't know too much about the the world of Pillars of Eternity. Like I said, I've never really gotten too much into the games in the first place. But I'm trying to fix them. The world fascinated me. I just always fell off of it. Okay. Want to be more of like Mongol horde type barbarian? Do I want to be a strange civilized barbarian? Be more located. Most of these are dwarven. Increases my constitution, which is nice. Which overall health and stamina. Okay. Living around this region. Island. I'm thinking going to the Living Lands. Oh god, so many options. Alright, so for a barbarian, it makes most sense for something like a mercenary type or drifter. Drifter stats don't really line up too much. Either explorer or mercenary, probably. Definitely not colonist. Yeah, let's go with explorer. Go with light blue here, or more of a teal color. Secondary. Let's go with red pants. A bit more bronzy skin. Ooh, that's some shiny hair. And I love how the dwarves are all limited to like the Gaelic, or at least this race of dwarves are all limited to like the Gaelic, Scottish and Irish colors of hair. Oh, really fascinating. A lot of ginger types, and then a few browns and blondes. Excuse me. I like that slightly pinkish hue. Zoom in at all? Nah. Of course, I gotta have some sort of beard as a dwarf. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, a little bit of facial tattoos. I can dig with that. I don't know why. I just like this look of the slightly like anime side swipe hair. Doesn't go well with any of these portraits, I imagine. But I dig it. I'm digging it. Yeah. I guess we'll go with this one. This one at least has a beard of similar length. Ooh, voices.
Mm-hmm. Watch and learn.
Keeping an eye out. Yes.
Now
All right.
I am the leader of the group.
We got somebody. We got Matt Mercer.
Stand together. Shh. I'm here. I'm flattered.
Sam Riegel.
Let's go.
Another Sam Riegel.
Huh? I've got this. Let's go!
I don't know that one.
Nothing will slip past me. Ready when you are. I'll lead the way.
I like that one though.
Attack.
Let's keep quiet.
I'm here.
Leading the way.
Finish them! Sharp eyes and keen ears.
And they really like Sam Riegel as the voice actors for this one.
Ready when you are.
I like Cocky though. Not smooth. I'm not really much of a. I don't picture this guy being much of in the way of, well, any of these. He's not really benevolent, sinister, stoic maybe.
Let's go. Nice and slow.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that I've watched too much Critical Role and I just can't picture Sam as any sort of barbarian type.
I'll lead the way. You're mine.
But I like Cocky. Let's go with that. And well, let's go with Cancun. He's a previous dwarven character I played in a D&D campaign. Loved him to death. Didn't get much The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you are planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods toward a looming black mass on the
Whole
hillside.
area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who would be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
Alas, the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day.
That's not reassuring
There's a
at all.
berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Where would I find these
Grow in a
berries?
bush that's
Oh,
common round here,
sorry, I
kinda
should
funny
probably
looking.
go from
You'll
where-
know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
What are these ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
What are those huge rocks coming out of the
They
ground?
don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange
I
properties.
don't like them so
Seems to
much.
have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
I'll go see about those berries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you.
Oh,
I know
the
you're
better.
not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
That's very practical. He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground, without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
One looks up. Her own time.
Needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Not a problem.
Oh, right, I forgot Wased controls the speed in this. Rogue. Caravan.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
Well, that's convenient. As is a little bit of money. You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
Scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered in uneven stubble, as if he hadn't gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale. Would like to take a look?
Let's see what you got. Ah, I got a giant miniature space piglet. That's supposed to be a reference to Minsk and Boo with his giant miniature, or giant pygmy space hamster or something like that. What do I even have on me? Main character? Oh, that's nice. Alright, so I got scale armor, great sword, this, Grants God's Pledge, which I have no idea what that is. Ah, a little bit of endurance. Yeah, sure, I'll wear it. And equip the little pig. Oh, you don't look ominous standing
I'll have your water
underneath.
soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Uh-huh. Lazy. I see how it is.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Ooh, it's a wolf! Let's both go after him.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Alright, so knockdown. I think you guys can take it without any special abilities. Easy peasy.
Ready when you are.
Ooh, I scored a crit.
This is it.
Got some spring berries. Odema says you've had interesting travels. I lived out on the frontier for a time. Yeah? How is it you happened to come here? It's a harsh place to live. I'm surrounded by death out there. You do what you can to survive. What else can someone be expected to do? Alicia breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Verdrick's offer makes a girl think. Give him that. You here to settle, like the rest of the lot? Just passing through. That's usually the case with the big city, just a little ways further up the same road. Where you headed? Nowhere special. Just putting as much time and distance between me and my old life as I possibly can. Seeing as we're halfway between now nowhere and nothing, I'd say you picked the right spot. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Odema will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. Alright, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfle's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he likes, and when he feels like it. We should check up on him first. Slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water. Well, at least she's being nice to me. I always hate the, like whenever the game is, like isometric RPGs usually have this in particular. But like whenever you're first introducing your character, there's always just that one person who's like, I'm not gonna help anybody. And it's like, come on, dude. It's like, it's not that hard. Like, I remember the original Baldur's Gate had it. I think Neverwinter Nights had it as well. Like, I don't know, maybe it was just BioWare. I don't know. Something about isometric RPGs always give like scratches a primal itch for me. Like trying to uncover as much of the fog of war on the map as possible. Like just trying to go everywhere and do everything. Travelers maybe, or looters, or bandits. Bad sign any way you figure it. corpse is cold to the touch, and a ripe smell wafts from it, putrid waves. A dark-crusted bloodstain besmirches its simple linen clothing. And lockpicks! Always need more of those. Whenever I get somebody capable of using them. Alright, so... Right, I believe...
Sparful went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on.
Grab that. You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Kalisha waits nearby. Keeping watch as you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. You have gained an item! Out of the trees emerges Sparfell, one of the guides. Barely discernible in the dim moonlight, he no longer carries his bow. There is a strangeness to his gait. Stride, wobbly as he moves toward you, with labored breath.
Sparful? Are you alright?
Sparfell's toe catches on a rock, and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. That's bad.
Ambush!
Alrighty, so we're going to have you engage this hunter. You are going to engage this hunter. Actually, you're going to initially go into a rage. And then engage the hunter. You go ahead and knock this guy down. That's knockdown, right? Oh, I guess it just didn't work. Yeah, we got him.
To camp.
Loot his body, piglet! Oh. I know you said to camp, but you know, there's more things. I like things. The footprints around the fire are indistinct and may have been here for days or longer. Ooh, special bottle. Oh, it's just beer. I mean, well, Knox, good beer. Alright. Don't know if we'll be able to search everything with this tension music playing. It might immediately lock us into a cutscene. But might as well try. Oh, more of them. Good. Alright, you immediately go for the knockdown on this hunter. You go into a rage. Oh, there's more. Cool. She's got this. Oh, when I rage, do I not know how much HP I have? Oh, that's an interesting mechanic. Alright. You go and attack this guy from behind, now that you're done. Let's knock him down, just to be safe.
Just say the word.
Might as well, right? Yeah, I'll take all. Up until the point where the inventory is going to be problematic, might as well grab everything so that way I can sell it later. True murder hobo fashion. The path winds through a narrow canyon back the way you came. Grooves in the road mark the passage of hundreds of caravans. You did not say the beginning of that sentence. And everything else is rock, it looks like. Oh no! They slaughtered everybody! All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts. Peppered with knife hilts? You mean they're whacking them with the hilt of the blade? Splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Kalisha puts the back of her left hand to her mouth, as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stand above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering and severe with a thick beard tasseled with knots, like mine, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Hedon, the last of your caravan still standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life, or a fight you will lose. We have not trespassed. We merely wish to pass through. Your words carry no weight. I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood. Oh, I got a rank in the disposition. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them. They mean to kill us all. Only a fool attacks a weak enemy while the stronger one yet lives. The man considers this, looking you up and down. Yet, he shoves Hedon towards you. As he does so, the man rakes his blade across Hedon's torso. Hedon screams and stumbles forward, a wide gash in his clothing beginning to bloom crimson. The man sets his feet to engage you, his axe raised high. That's problematic. Alright, time to rage. You go ahead and go for an immediate knockdown on the leader. I've gained Hedon apparently. So why don't you try to blind the leader too?
Ready when you are.
Oh, why wasn't I? No, I thought I selected my guy. Let's try to save what looks to be the rogue. Focus on the... Oh, they're all attacking him. Alright, you go around. Alright, we managed to save them. Alright. Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise, his companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sighs. A whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good. Good. The gods are just. Weird smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin. Where it pierces you, it feels as though it was rending you apart from within. Seated against a wagon wheel, amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across chest and bowel, Odema's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
No, I can't loot the place. Straining against the gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step, you set your hands in the worn folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. The last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Theoden trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation, as he nears the face of the rocks. One of the fallen attackers, who had been feigning death, lunges for Theoden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Theoden lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They're close to you, despite the wind from your position. If you were to throw your weapon at the attacker, you would have a good chance at hitting your mark. Okay, I can either give up my greatsword, or allow Hedon to break free on his own. I imagine Cancun's honorable, yet he definitely feels more along the lines of survival, so this is tough break. I mean, if I throw it at Hayden, potentially he can get the sword back to me. It's not like I'm not completely out of weapons, so yeah, sure, I'll throw my great sword and just fucking Thor hammers a giant claymore. Your aim is true, and the hit jars Hayden loose. Lurching to his feet, Hayden clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength. Hey, my strength isn't waning. I mean, have you seen these guns? At least seen Cancun's guns? It feels as though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold you just long enough for Hayden to set his feet, join you on the trembling ledge. There's a deep resonance to the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. Ooh, hey crash. Well, at least we got Hayden.
Was that?
A Buick. Had to be.
5.
And we're the only ones.
There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside. Can you walk?
It just mirrors like the first part of whatever she's saying always gets cut out. Like, it wasn't just that line earlier. It was like beginning of this, the line before this one, and this one, she didn't say we can't stay here. And Strahd tightens. He nods. Alright, so did I lose my greatsword? I lost my greatsword. And we had... okay, we do have stuff at the very least. So I can go ahead and use an axe and a shield until I get what I need. You just have daggers. Why don't you use a bow instead? I get the feeling you're much better at that. And I'll give you a quick item. Alright. Oh, I wanted everybody. Alright, go through the conveniently placed ruin. Oh.
That should be far enough. But what now?
Storm has to die sometime.
Again, only her. What about everybody else in our caravan? Alicia's lips pressed together and chin rumples. Voice is faint. The wheels got hold of them now. Gods grant them better luck in their next lives. You don't seem too upset about all this. Alicia looks you in the eye, a volatile current running beneath her voice. Maybe, you just don't know me enough to know what upset looks like. Maybe I've seen worse too. Seen worse and kept on walking. Because there's nothing else to be done, and because there's people who you care about who still need you. Alright, fair enough, I get that. You attacked us. Glenfaithans. Those would be the hut dwellers O'Demo warned you about. Looking to be the fangs of Gallowayne, who the twitchiest of the lot. They go ruin to ruin, looking for fights with colonists. For O'Demo, I think you half expected this once we lost the main road. The Glenfaithans said we trespassed in the ruins. I don't believe that. O'Demo would never allow it. As much as the Fangs are hotheads, Glenfaithans don't attack without being provoked. Either they saw something and got the wrong idea, or it's down to the passage beyond. Or there's looters in here with us. It's not something we need right now. Let's get going. Erden takes a step forward and his knee buckles. Before anyone can catch him, he stumbles to the ground, his cheek striking the time-worn cobbles. On steady legs, he claws his way up to the wall and back to his feet. His stance is shaky, like a sailor walking on land after a time at sea.
Good Could we maybe stay here and rest a few hours? I've lost some blood. It seems quiet off to the left. Might be a place to rest there.
We can't afford to stay put. Those Glonfathens were riled about something. Could be we got company in here. Looters will be armed and ready to kill, and there's probably a lot of them. We can't be caught sleeping in their beds.
Well, it won't be their bed. It'll be our beds.
Please, I just need to lie down for a while. Then we can move as fast as you want.
Hear me. We are gonna die in here if we don't get moving and get this place figured out before the looters come back. We've either gotta find the exit or a damn good place to hide.
Kalisha's right. We have to pass on. We don't know what we're up against.
I'll do my best.
He makes a good point.
Ready when you are.
For a survivalist mindset that I'm going with for Cancun, like, he knows the odds are better now.
Wonder who was here. See if they left anything useful behind.
Yeah, more camping supplies. Ooh, what's better? Oh, definitely. I'll take that just in case. And sure things. Okay. And this is light armor. Beer. We will always have the water skin with me for the rest of time. Lord knows I'm not going to use it to get better anytime soon. I'm going to be trying to zoom as much as I can through the opening parts just because I've seen it before. But I won't be going too fast that it won't make sense. Ooh. A trembling, sickly creature emerges from the dark, clutching a spear. Knobbly elbows and thin ribs show through its scaly flesh, but you recognize it as a Zarrib. It watches you cautiously, breathing in ragged sighs. I'll tear you to pieces, lizard. Zarrib's eyes narrow as it hisses at you. It lunges, raising the spear. Oh, there's 3 of us. Maybe you should realize not to pick a fight, young lizard. I mean, yeah, I was the one antagonizing it, but what do you expect? Sure. Looter? Ooh, something shiny. There. Can't believe my luck. A few rounds of dice and I've got my hands on a genuine Ingwithan artifact. The fellow who's had it said it was pretty nothing as far as he's concerned. He's not willing to go digging in some ruins. But he's right about this gem leading to a hidden treasure, then that's worth sneaking past a few painted elves. I heard to Silentless in the morning, and it's just a matter of finding this relief he was talking about. Okay, gotta use the gem on some painted elves. I'll go ahead and throw story. And everything else I'll put in the stash.
Look at the tiles. What are those symbols? That roundish symbol. I'm pretty sure I saw it on one of the tiles back there.
The symbol of the patterned circle is inscribed on this pillar. An unlit brazier sits at its base. It could be lit if you have the means. Use the torch. Huzzah! Light all the fires as I see them slowly dying over in the other room. Now, at the very least, we have a concrete path. The mural must be ancient, yet the colors are still bright and vivid. It shows a procession of Ingwithans from all the Kith races: Amoa, Elf, Orlane, Dwarf, and Human. They walk among pillars similar to the ones that span this chamber, each topped with flame. Interesting, interesting. Oh, looks like we got some oozes.
You better run!
No need to go into rage for something so little. Actually, why am I having you do that when you should be in the back?
Ready when you are.
Oh,
What's that muck on the wall?
viscous and oily. Oh, hey, I got a water skin. Oh. A vicious slick of something dark and tar-like runs down this wall. The shape and bulges in the ooze suggest that something lies beneath it, but you can't tell what. You rinse the ooze away, revealing an intricate relief of a man's face. The sunburst surrounding it has chipped away in places, but the details of its head, tight curls of the hair to the ridges on its pointed ears, still showcase remarkable craftsmanship. One eye socket is empty, a gem fills the other. Well, hey! Got a gem right here. The chamber begins to rumble, stray rocks dancing across the tile floor. Finally, a large section of the wall gives way. Yay, a secret with another ooze. Take the ooze bits. Take everything else. Minor cloak of protection. I cannot let the main character die. And that's always something that I've had a problem with when it comes to like isometric RPGs. Is that you can revive anybody from death. Except the main character. Like Persona 5, I love the game to death. And I know it's not an isometric RPG, but it's like the same kind of principle. Persona 5, like you could literally just, huzzah, everybody's fine! You literally have a magical ability that revives everybody. But if the main character dies, everybody else just dies of sadness. Immediately. Like, nothing can be done. Okay, let me check the map. Okay, got an area to the north and an area to the east.
Be quiet.
Now, scouting mode is more of stealth mode, I guess. Yes, I do enjoy scouting with the torch in my hand.
You're
Yeah, I know how stealth works.
mine.
Alright, go into a rage. You try to knock him down. Haha! Got him fast.
Not a problem.
Sure, I'll take a hatchet. Crack runs along this line, this wall from floor to ceiling. A light gust of air passes through it. Alright. Thankfully, they gave me a convenient hammer and chisel. You set to work. The cracks lengthen and widen with your efforts, but the process is still more taxing than you'd expect. Sweat beads your forehead, and your muscles begin to ache. Continue chiseling. After several long moments, you begin to see light on the other side. One final tap, several blocks of stone shift, then tumble loose, clearing a gap just wide enough to pass through. I'd call that bigger than just wide enough.
Be quiet. I could scout ahead, see what's around the corner.
You better run!
Alright, I'm so glad I can rage once an encounter. Yeah, we got this. Easy peasy. Oh, no, nothing to loot. Damn. Hey, that's cool.
Feels like there's a draft coming through that wall. I don't hear any sign of that storm either.
That is not what that text said. Ah, okay, this just looped around. Just in case I didn't want to solve the puzzle, they gave me an alternate option. Mighty kind of them. Then, ooh. Ooh! Okay, that's bigger than expected. Let's... I always forget, what's the difference between health and endurance? Oh, I'll worry about that later.
You.
Go ahead and try to knock it down. Okay, never mind. Everything is fine. Okay, so endurance is the temporary one, health is the bigger one. Okay. Because
Ready when you are.
if I remember correctly, like health, the way that this game works is you have your health for the fight, aka your endurance, and each point of endurance also subtracts from the health. But as you go through the fight, like you can replenish your endurance, your health doesn't change. So eventually, like your health will be at a certain threshold where that's all you have energy for the day. Like you can't do anything more for that.
Not a problem.
And so eventually it forces you to rest, unlike other games where you can just chug a bunch of potions or whatnot. I think there are some things that actually heal your health as opposed to your endurance, but most of the effects just go after your endurance, I believe. Ooh, I forgot something. Alright, I missed something. Yay, more gems! Gems are always good, because at the very least, you can sell them for money. You can't use them for anything else. Four figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled azure and metallic veins, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colorless as stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick gray beard frames a face otherwise hidden beneath a metallic mask. Its faded robes are embroidered with the runic language, unlike anything you have ever seen. He wears a strange black headdress with two protrusions that jut out of the wings of some malevolent creature.
Oathbinder, bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book.
That's not
Your brother has
ominous.
done his part, and you have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth, and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
It's never ominous. For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet, and the air is still. Then, all at once, it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision, and you are knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land, and pain wells into the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away into the black, conscious void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed. Its walls lined with adra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. The far end of a great pillar of adra pierces the floor from below, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Circling the pillar is an apparatus, much like the one you have just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. Your thoughts are yours and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them. They're all questions. Pressing questions, troubling questions, questions that must be answered, or. At the base of the pillar now you see a man with a thick grey beard and ceremonial robe, crowned with strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You're walking towards him now at a pace that is hurried while trying not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all. The question spins madly in your mind. Well then, I had visions from the past, and oh no! All my friends are dead. You awaken to find your malaise has broken, only to be replaced with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Or you just have tinnitus. Tinnitus always fucking sucks. I've had it for years, working with cans like these on my head all day. Like, at this point, there's barely a moment where I don't hear some sort of ring. Movement flits through your periphery. When you turn to look, you can see no sign of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary, paranoid tick. If this is a sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. The figures at the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is nowhere to be seen. Aoden and Kalisha lie bloody on the uneven cobbles, bodies twisted unnaturally in death. You are alone, far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. Okay. Oh, guess I gotta grab all of the gear. And hey, I've leveled up. Alright, so. I'm thinking pump a few into survival, because if I can just start maxing out damage reduction, I think that'd be the best thing as a barbarian. And then a little bit into athletics. Save it over for the next level. Ooh. Motivated. Additional effects when under frenzy. More might and more constitution. Okay. Moving the accuracy of secondary attacks from carnage. Okay. Barbarian deals a massive blow, causing additional crits and extra damage on crits. Carnage is not affected. Alright, and then the others appear to be more along the lines of, like, I want to do a little bit of multi-classing. I can do that, but honestly, I don't think I want to do that. The problem is, do I want to do Barbaric Blow or Greater Frenzy? Spam it, getting as much damage and as much damage reduction as possible. Very nice. But getting a special attack that I can use once an encounter, also really nice. I'm thinking for now, because I want to... I'll go with Greater Frenzy for now, and then next time I'll get low. Alright, leveling up, you may want to review the statistics. Now I'm fatigued. Question is, does that mean that I should rest and... Ooh. Oh, whoops, my bad. Massive structures formed of stone, adra, and copper and covered in strange glyphs. The air around it vibrates with an unusual energy. Here. That's not a good scream. Take 6 hours, and then I'll rest as soon as I get there.
Must have cracked more skulls than I thought.
I don't know, I think I'm going to be sticking with damage reduction. At least they're giving me camping supplies right here. It's not too shabby. Diamond's wort. Yeah. Oh no, spoopy ghost! Alright, well. At the very least, while I'm alone, I need to rage as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get screwed over. But then again, I don't know how much I'm dying when I'm raging. So, tit for tat. Got some decent stuff. I'm not going to confine my beautiful beard underneath a helmet. These old daggers with swords. 14 to 20 slash pierce, or 14 to 20 crush. I'll go for the variety of slash pierce. And a touch more salt. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up, startled as he sees you approach. He drops his ladle, spattering stew across the ground. What? Bandit turns. Get him, you dogs! Make sure our new cook doesn't run off. Help! Please help! One of the bandits gives 10 earth. Oh, I know his name. It gives him a kick as they pass him, and he huddles. Yeah. Huzzah! Right? I forgot to quick save before this. That might be a problem. And let me do a little bit of endurance healing. Kinda wish I took the barbaric blows now. Here, let me go after this guy. Shit. Yeah, no, I definitely should say I hope there's an auto save. Oh god. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize this game has a system where, like, as you get hit, your next action gets spread out a little bit. I'm gonna take a potion real quick, get some regeneration going on. Try to take them down as much as possible. Really wish I took barbaric blows, but I'm cutting through them a little bit. His weapon is faster, but my weapon is more powerful. There we go. I got him on the ropes. Just need to hit him. Everything's fine. Yeah, there we go. Take all the coins, take the hood, take the cape in case I want to make anybody look badass. Pop all the others.
Hail, traveler.
By the flame. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for these ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Until they were bored with me, I suppose. I must get back home. I only hope they haven't hired a replacement. The dwarf looks aghast. Listen, next time you're in Gilded Vale, stop by the Black Hound Inn. I'll let Posca know just what you've done for me. I'm sure she'll do it right by you in return. Oh, to be back at my oven again. Got a little bit of reputation. Tis nice, tis nice. Get a little bit of food. A little bit of coin. Nope. That's just a wolf. It's just wolves. A little bit of damage reduction. Carve them down. A little bit of healing.
You're mine.
No longer flanked. Wolves are easy. I just took down 3 bandits that were very much a problem. Just a few doggos, doesn't matter. These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Examine the wall more closely. Heavier bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing. The stone themselves seem sturdy enough. Given the right tools, one might easily reach the top. Can I climb it with a hammer and chisel? Just leap, hammer, chisel. Leap, hammer, chisel, using it as one hitting against the wall. No? Alright. I'm gonna quick save. Just because I haven't been, that sounds problematic. Or that feels problematic.
Hail and well met.
The man appears to be hurriedly dismantling his camp in quick, jerky movements. He looks up at you as you approach, his expression tense and drawn. Greetings, he says with this. On your way south, is it? He wipes his brow, turning to face you. The sooner you leave these woods, the better, I think. Never mind the woods. Strange machine in the ruins up north. There are these figures, clad in black, forming some kind of rite. Ruins? The old Ingwithan place? Oh, you want to keep clear of those, whatever you saw. Strange things always crop around Ingwithan sites. I don't doubt those people you saw were up to no good. Let the Glenfathens deal with it. I don't take too kindly to trespassers, whatever their intentions. There's enough to worry about in these woods as it is. This expression falls. Hi. We came across a bear. Cave to the north. Not a better of a friend of mine. I only just made it out with my life. In any case, this forest's already cost me a friend. I'm heading back home before it takes anything else. Where did you find this bear? In a cave? A ways up that way? I wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It's a great brute of a beast. I'd hate to hear what it took another life. What happened to your friend? You didn't see it coming. We were following a stag, early. He saw something in the brambles. We went tearing off after it. We all but stumbled into the cave. Poor Pearly didn't stand a chance. The bear was on top of him before we knew what was happening. The beasts will take what they will, I suppose. And in this time, Gadawain's favor fell upon the bear. I don't care about your name. Alright, so there's a bear causing problems. Perfect starter quest, if I can imagine. How much health am I at? 378 to 538? Oh, I'm good. Carve it to pieces. Rage. Easy peasy. Lemon squeeze me.
Not a problem.
Some mushrooms. Is this Pearly? No, that's just a different body. Don't mind me, there's just another person dead. No context, no clues, no nothing. Eventually I'll get my brother around and he's the other half of ISO Bros. But eventually I'll get my brother around and we'll be playing some Divinity Original Sin. That's always fun. I played up to, I think, chapter 2 or 3 of that game with an ex of mine before things fell through. I've always been meaning to go back to it. It's a really fun game, and Can I save now? No, I cannot save now. Alright, that's fine. Actually. Rage. Just carve into it, carve into it. Ah! Oh! Okay, that bear is a lot more powerful than I thought. Thankfully there's a autosave. Let me just turn around and wait till I'm a little higher level.
Not a problem.
I do enjoy how there's a fast mode in this, though. So much more convenient. Okay. Guess I gotta go south in order to go to Gilded Vale. It hours perfectly fine. Right, fast mode. Now that's not ominous.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
I feel at home already. I did not mean to say that, or press that. Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The estimable Lord Raedric VII has already taken great pains to insulate our town from Waidwin's legacy. Have you ever siled a hollowborn child? That kind of surliness will get you nowhere in Gilded Vale. Lord Raedric has made it his first priority to eliminate the scourge from our village. To him, no answer at all is as good as an admission of guilt.
I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst. His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
You said before about Hollowborn, Waidwin's legacy before. I forget that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon Deerwood for almost 15 years now. children born without souls. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe barely, do not truly live. Some say the hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are a punishment from the gods. In truth, one knows. But they began spreading out after the Saints' War, and so the name White One's legacy struck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. I see. Lord Raedric's decrees maybe seem strict at times, but he has our best interests at heart. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understand our rules. Before I got here, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near some ruins. You'll want to mind where you mention that. Trespassing in Ingwithan rules is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People would try anything these days. Wrath of mercy. We certainly have. I don't think so. Just as they finished, there was a bivouac. If you'd been that close to a bivouac, you wouldn't be standing here. I've been feeling strange ever since the close call with the bivouac. Is there someone in town who could help?
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all.
The amount of bodies on that, I don't think the Animancer was the problem there.
But if you're set on finding a
Has anybody thought of the problem?
Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
Has anybody thought that maybe the problem is with the Lord, if you know what I'm saying?
Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed.
That's me.
3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
Don't threaten me, little man. It is no threat, only a warning. So a threat. Lord Raedric will tolerate no threats to his kin or those who live upon his lands. Grief will not make him more docile. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you get some rest. Inn, or stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. You mean you came to us at a time of mourning? Legacy is struck at the heart of Gilded Vale. Our attempts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of the Brath must be redoubled. Farewell. Cool. I don't know. I get massive, this guy is the Tarkin to Vader vibes from him. I want to know what the setup to that joke was. You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm, his face partially obscured by a hood. His height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Ooh, a fight. One of the other men glares at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. You've got a lot of gore, mocking us in our own village. We don't take ill treatment from foreigners, especially not Adirans.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
I will confess, like, I knew Aloth was down here from the last time I played. Like, last time I got him, and then there's barely anything past this. And just from this line alone, I just love this character.
I'll cut that barrel-looking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
I don't think attacking him is such a good idea. Because then you'll have me to deal with. They look at each other. One of the men gives the other two a warning shake of his head before turning to you. We're done for now. This one better watch his step around here, so we're not going anywhere. Final scowl at the elf and turns to leave. I don't have to murder everybody. Just, you know, if they deserve it. As the three stumble away, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
Actually, that was fun.
Then I can't imagine you lack for entertainment in these parts.
He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with dirt of many months' travel. The leatherwork beneath it is sturdy, fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusser, at your service.
How'd you manage to get stuck out here? That is something of a long story.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan. We're separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half the locals would arrest you for trespassing and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
A bivouac.
And you survived? I've heard such a thing was impossible. But it seems you either have a knack for timing or the favor of the gods.
Oh, definitely the latter. Just how did you manage to get across those three drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did tell that one man to go fuck with his sister. That, as I tried to. One thing I gotta say I do kind of dislike about this game is it like always alternates between scenes where it's like, hey, we're gonna have full voice acting, and no, we're not. Like, as noticed earlier, like, I was like, oh, okay, we're going into the questions. They didn't have Matt Mercer voice everything. And then the next line, they had a voice, so makes it a little bit hard. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. I heard the same thing. Just a moment. He looks as if he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief. But before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lips so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes, and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. What were you doing in Gilded Vale?
Excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
I've been experiencing strange things of late. I'm looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
I expect such expertise would be best sought elsewhere. I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
So do I. Let's go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Huzzah!
Yeah?
I got myself a
How may I help?
wizard? Yeah, a wizard. Alright. The Black Hound Inn.
Not a problem.
All I know about the story for this is I think Obsidian, back when they were Interplay, were working on Baldur's Gate 3, which was like, it was Baldur's Gate 3, the Black Hound, but that game ended up falling through, resulting in the game never being released. And so once Interplay became Obsidian, they were like, hey, let's give a quick shout out to all of our work poured into a previous game. Which I always appreciate passion like that.
Welcome.
Hello, and welcome to... Oh, it's you! Tenforth told us what you did for him. Such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. Consider yourself a favorite of the house. Discount on drinks? Room? Tenforth said he wanted to whip something up nice for you. He's already back to work in the kitchen. So, what would you like? I'd like a room, please. Certainly, you're always welcome. I have 218 copper pieces. Honestly, well, first let's see what I can go with when it comes to selling my shit. Can I not go into the stash? Oh, yeah, I can. Keep a battle axe just in case. An axe just in... yeah, and I'll keep a shield just in case I need it. So with that, I should have a decent amount of cash on me. Now the question is, do I want extra resolve mechanics? I'm gonna go just stay in the the common room. Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with suffering anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face is shriveled inward like moldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. And as you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly her hand snaps up, and her eyes open. They are empty. Behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts. A gust of rancid air, she speaks a word. Watcher! You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets. Skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. You called her an animancer. Though it fills you with a new, queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, only to confirm she is truly dead. Alright, cool. I got the next quest. Ah, it's you, my savior. Ah, it's so good to be back. Do not think I'll let this go unrewarded. I've decided that you have earned the right to learn one of my closely guarded secrets, my dearest recipe. After this, you will eat nothing else. I've learned the recipe for a savory pie. A savory pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well in your travels. That's a great reward. Then again, they do help when it comes to some things. What all does a savory pie do in comparison to beef loaf? +2 might, or 1 might and 1 perception for half the time. And +2 constitution, okay. Alright, I'll get a little bit of that going on here. I don't think I want to sell or like spend money to make a bunch of scrolls just yet, because I still need to get like a good two-handed weapon for Cancun. Make it a little brain, why not? And there's a scroll here, might as well. I'm not gonna go through. I know I could go through all the lore books, but that just was gonna take up too much time. Ingust. Crammed behind the books is a drawing that shows Aethus and Lord Raedric in a compromising position. Herewood. Get some lockpicks. I'll grab the books for later. But there's the black hound I was talking about. The hound stares intently at the covered window, head cocked as if waiting to hear a particular sound. It looks up when you approach and whines a low note, tail wagging slightly. Of course I'm going to pet the dog. Why wouldn't I pet the dog? From what I remember from the excerpts of the Black Hound, or Baldur's Gate 3, the Black Hound was supposed to symbolize grief or guilt or something like that, and it was supposed to show up and continually kind of get linked to you. So as you're going through the game, you encounter it, beat it back, and try to solve what is exactly creating this. Oh, there's the dwarf. Gotta talk to her. 8th that you gotta go for the base. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bow that sags at the tug of her noose. Bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her. Lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings. There is a tepid warmth to it. You feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it. Not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Reach out for the woman. Take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you've expanded enough to reach her, there's a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing, electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. When you open them again, she's staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, rope creaking as she does so. She smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
I think I survived the bivouac. Do you know why that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
How are you able to speak with me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
I need to understand something that's happened to me. Nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there. You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
What do you mean, all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprouts from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
You said souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Remergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
Ah, so I'm eventually gonna die. Good to know.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
I was granted the Crucible of the Soul. You alright? You seemed lost just now. Watcher. Well, that is interesting. And I expect that explains how you survived a bivouac, hmm? In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about Watchers? Only that they're rare. They seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions, as you just demonstrated. Let's continue on.
17 and a half.
Smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair, leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
Another map mercer. What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
And, pardon me. What was that about the dwarf?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person.
And of course!
I think you oughta.
Of course I'd count her as a full person. I'm a dwarf myself. What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you a moment. His brow arched. His smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
I've been out of sorts. Of course. We all got our bad days. We stand perfectly still and stare at corpses for a while without blinking. None of your business. Bad enough. Folks around here minded their business, and that tree over there have a few less wind chimes. Maybe you should take heed. Leave you to your corpse staring. I mean, I'm traveling with Aloth, so I'm not going to just, I'll tell him that I'm a watcher, but that guy is just some random schmuck. Seemed important, though, given that he was voice acted and had a portrait, though. We got here. House. Just gonna go bursting into any random houses. There's a blacksmith. Ooh! Didn't realize I got a level up. Let's use to activate scrolls. I don't need to activate scrolls. I'll just hold on to that. Barbarian abilities. Okay. Got the terrifying yell. His or her gaining a large amount of endurance. Okay, that's nice. Lash out when in pain, granting a bonus to damage as long as their endurance is under 50%. Okay. To ignore the movement stop of engagement and gain bonus to all defenses against disengagement attacks. I like Blooded. What does Frightened do? Dissolve a dex, reduced by 2 and accuracy 10. I like Blooded. I get the feeling I'm going to get hit a lot, so being able to get increased damage in compensation for that seems pretty nice. And what about Aloth? Of course, I'm just going to spam Lore. What kind of spells do you got right now? Okay, I cannot check. No, I don't actually want to look at them. I don't want to select them. I want to look at them. So, blinded, busting wounds. Okay, I like this spell because from what it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, I'm not as familiar with Pillars of Eternity's mechanics, but yeah, it drains. So what it does the corrosive damage, and then whatever it does turns into endurance for Aloth, which is incredibly nice. And then I want to go to AoE spell. There's Rolling Flame. Use of Vital Essence, max endurance and max health. Yeah, I'll go with Rolling Flame just because I definitely need some sort of AoE spell.
Yeah?
Oh, but I'm not going to be stealing.
Not a problem.
This home man is an impressive build, towering over the countertop. His skin is dusky blue of the deeper oceans, and his thick arms boast corded muscle. Small ears frame a square-jawed face, coated in smeared soot and arcing black tattoos alike. Welcome. You're the first new face I've seen in quite some time. What can I do for you? What do we have here? You come to us at a strange time, I'm afraid. Stock's not quite what it used to be. But we find weapons and armor to offer yet. All forged right here at the Blackhammer. Show me what you have for sale. Of course. Won't find finer anywhere else. Sweet. Okay, first. Sure there's nothing new here. Actually, I have a shit ton of armor I gotta sell. And then some basic stuff. So it my beer. Would I do that? Major. I don't think that's weighing me down. So, all right, it gives me an extra 490 copper pieces to work. So, do you not have good? Ah, great sword. Exactly what I wanted. And then we are 8 versus scale, both medium. Better against everything aside from freezing. You can enchant? What? Oh. Never mind, not yet. Okay, yeah, I'll buy the breastplate for myself. And love to get that sometime, but I can't do that anytime soon. I'm gonna get these two because I think they're gonna be useful. Alright. So, with that, now I can do it. Oh, look at me looking so chipper with my teal. Let's go with purple instead of teal pants. Anything else of interest? Just do the lessers. Or not lessers, the backers. Alright, now that I got Airloth, let's... Should we go after that bear? No. What's down here? Mysterious stairs next to the death tree. Man lies resting against the wall, lit by the dim illumination of the fading sconces. He has a gaunt, fox-like aspect, and his face is pale and damp with sweat. One arm is held loosely against his side, sleeves soaked with blood. Gives you an anxious glance as you near, his features twisted with pain. I care. You mean to go in? It's a quick look towards the doorway to his left. This place is not so empty as I thought. This temple isn't what it used to be. Probably for the best, times being as they are. I'm no looter, if that's what you're thinking. Not one of the faithful either. Just wanted to do some good, I suppose. Got my arm clawed up for it. Maybe you'd have better luck. Better luck with what? These ruins around us used to be a temple of Aothas, scattered god. Grand temple at that. His worshippers would come from all over the Deerwood. From Red Saras, even. Until the war, of course. Even then, get some of the stubborn ones. Ones that couldn't get it through their heads that their god was dead and gone. Is this really time for a history lesson? Just giving you the full story is all. What I want is deeper inside the temple. The priests lived. Lord Raedrak had them killed. Same as the poor bastards on the tree outside. Temple's been sealed up for years since. Until just a short while ago. That's where I get involved in, I hope the priests can find the remains. Well, maybe we can give them a proper burial. I'll find them. By the flame. I hear you. A good turn. Listen. Temple's been sealed off for so long. It's crawling with creatures. But if you get past them, priests would have been down on the lower floor. They'll still be there still. If they're anywhere. Those priests had all kinds of secret chambers. Switches in the walls. Trick sconces. That kind of thing. Keep an eye out. And take care. Down there. I wouldn't want to have to send someone else after your remains. I want to talk to that Adir fellow. If Raedrak hasn't hanged him yet. Word is he's a follower of the dead god. Maybe he'll know something more about this place. He's usually out by the smithy. I'll wait here by the stairs. Keep a lookout. Maybe try to patch myself up some. Alright. Apparently, the deer is more important than I thought. In which case, I might need to tell him I'm a watcher if that's the only way to get him to come. Pretty social for someone who's had something. Want to tell me what business by the tree was, or I gotta guess? Do you know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Let's not use that word round here. Could be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're gonna be hanged?
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
The war? Saints' War. Only one in my lifetime. Fellas decide he is the living incarnation of Aothas. Overthrows Raid Saris, marches on Deerwood. So, gave him a Deerwood and hello. What's a Deerwood and hello?
We blew him up.
Who is Aothas? Definitely don't have any conniving reasons why I'm asking. About a rebirth and redemption. Formerly, anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. I had other questions. I got time. Well, how was your headman hanged? Got involved. Radric sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority. Someone in town was working with Kolsk, plotting Radric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward. So Swithin, that's my hangman, he steps up, says it's him. They took him at his word. Bound to happen sooner or later. Not for plotting against Radric, but for protecting me. Who's Kolsk? Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. What does your town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, and then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
You can see why I was so eager to leave. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking, mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. I haven't figured out where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Wadewood's legacy started with Wadewood. You could travel together. Where you headed? Some place called Gate Noir. An old watcher there. Be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
Like you said, I'm gonna be 19 before you. Is a fine reason if I ever heard one.
All right then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
Let's get going. Alright, so what are you? Okay, just a fighter. Little folk. So that's all my... That's a party reputation. It seemed slightly rational as a barbarian. Good to know. Section... Fortitude. Alright, so now that we got a decent amount of people, let's start off going after that bear and climbing up the side of that wall thing. That way we can at least completely eliminate what is going on.
Ready when you are.
Oh, that's what right click. Is it like if we can get rid of all of Balewood and like not have to come back? Fine by me. So let's start off with going up here. Got the grappling hook. Ooh. Dexterity gloves. I do not think you'll ever see this. You were right, Fulvano. Could have journeyed south together, and safer for it. I would tolerate all the gloating in the world. I might live to hear it. I put myself out of the reach of the beasts circling below, and I'm done for all the same. I do not think I will rise again. Whoever finds this, pray for me. Perhaps in the next life I shall be a trapper of wolves. Take that. Seems mildly important. Take some ingredients. And that was it. Climb down. Just about discovered everything. Oh, has some more Zarps. Go ahead and well, that's a nice ability.
Not a problem.
Perfectly fine. The struts and supports are enough to be the ribs and vertebrae of a dragon. Wonder how they got dragon bones. Alright, let's see if we can take down this bear together, fellas! The bear kicked my ass before, so I might as well, right? Alright, so let's try to come up with a plan of attack. Crush or corrode damage. freeze damage to a target and reduces its accuracy, but it gotta be right next to it. More dazzling lights, decreasing their will and leaving them dazed. Actually, let's go ahead and start off with just a simple spell attack. Go for a knockdown. I go for a rush.
Hey.
And once everything gets started,
Hi.
we launch that. Dazzling lights. Yeah. How many times can I use this? Once per rest versus win. You're gonna do that. You do your best to knock down the bear. And too bad I don't have any healing spells.
How may I?
Yeah, we got it.
Ready when you are.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Alright. A figure drifts, suspended in the musty air of the cavern. Its forms and features blur and twist in cascading ripples of incandescence. Feel its energy eddying about your limbs, filling them with a heavy chill. You reach out a hand for the spirit. The moment of contact, you feel as if you've been struck a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into a waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edges of your vision. You feel the sun at your back, the weight of the bow in your hand. You know, suddenly, that you've come a long way from the vale, hunting deer. Now you are striding before a cavern, and the darkness extends far into the depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering into your chest as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There's a roar like thunder echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casts you stumbling back towards the exit, towards light, escape. You see a glint of steel, and there's a sudden terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, and fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lance through the pain. In a moment of terrible clarity, you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. Then, a great dark shape above you. There's more pain. Vision recedes. You are thrown back into yourself, a seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet, and the specter lingers. In the span of energy between you both, you feel a sense of questioning, confusion, anger. Metamorphosed, your friend. Sudden lashing anger emanates from the spirit. Rage and grief seem to pour from the gleaming figure like smoke. I'll find him. See that he answers for what he's done to you. For a moment, the spirit seems to burn bright. Your head fills with a sickly triumph. The spirit seems to weaken with the force of its own exultation, and fainter, till you are alone once more. Well,
Just say the word.
and there was a great sword here the entire fucking time.
Not a problem.
I realized I could have taken eaten some of the food. That would have greatly helped. Well. Can I just pop in from here? Road map. Yay, I can. I can't, never mind. Now that I discovered Goated Vale, yeah. Might as well pop on over to the see if I can figure out which house has a friend, and then see if I can do anything about it. Oh. Those are just backers. I mean, yeah, I respect the Kickstarter backers. I'm not going to interview every single one. Just absurd. More of them? Yeah. Alright, can't go in there. Oh, Naunton! This man and woman appear to be deep in conversation, closing two bulging satchels. Blah. They move to embrace until the woman notices your approach, pauses, smile, faltering a little.
Good day, stranger.
Can we help you? Looks to her companion, brows furrowing with confusion. Do you know this man, Naunton? Yes, I think we met in the Valewood. I warned him about the bear. Glad to see you make it. Was there something else you wanted? You two are in good spirits for people who just lost a friend. Aye, that's unkind. That's unkind of you to say. I'm grieving my husband in my fashion. I'm only sorry I could not convince him to leave Gilded Vale before this happened. Oh, did I miss something? Accident? No. Okay. I'm relieved to be rid of this terrible place. That's all. It cost me the greater part of my life now, and now my husband. I'm glad to be free of it. I know what really happened in that bear cave, Naunton. The drains from Naunton's face. I don't know what you mean. I told you the truth of it. Are you accusing him of something? Ingroid looks to Naunton, touching his arm. If this is about the accident, we're both grieving Pearlie's loss. What was a wild animals doing? Naunton shakes his head minutely. You see a tremble in his hands. What would make you suggest such a thing? I had a vision in the cave. Saw Burley's last moments as he lived them. I saw you cut him with the knife. That's not possible. How could you possibly know? I left no sign. Naunton, wait. I don't know what you saw in the bear cave, but that isn't what you think. Pearlie, my husband, is as much a beast as that bear. I tried to leave the first time he suffered his temper. He wouldn't have it. Naunton, we met, and I knew I'd found somebody special. Someone kind, who cared for me. Please, all we want is to leave this place. Start somewhere else. We've got some coins saved up. You can have it. Only you'll let us go. Keep your money. Use it to start a new life. Then thank you. Truly, I'm glad you understand. Only, here, take this at least. Hope it brings you luck. We have a long journey ahead of us. I wish you well on your own travels, stranger. We won't forget this. Oh.
Aye?
How may I be of service? How long were you in Gilded Vale? Shrugs, fidgeting with the hem of his sleeve. Not much longer than you. As you saw, it was hardly the haven that has been advertised. Tell me about Adir. I've been gone more than a year now. I suspect I'll always think of the forests and fields of Adir as home. We've thousands of years of history and tradition behind us. There's a sense of dignity and responsibility that comes with that. Of course, there's baggage as well. Our imperial past is still fresh in the mind of many, as you may here. Has it been difficult to adjust to the Deerwood? People here are informal, hot-blooded, more attentive to insult than to duty. But as long as one avoids provocation, it's easy enough to get along. I've gotten accustomed enough to keeping my thoughts to myself anyway. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. Till you call, or tell somebody to fuck their sister. Any thoughts on what I should do next? Well, you're in charge here. As far as I'm concerned, any place is better than Gilded Vale. No offense. Alright. Deer will get his turn.
Not a problem.
Well, that was simpler than I thought. Let's hop on over to and take a sleep and then pop into the base or into the church real quick.
Greetings.
I could use some. Oh. Never mind, I'm not going to choose that one because I believe that's just me hiring other followers. Which I guess wouldn't be so bad. How much are they? $250 for level 1? Then could use a healer though. Nope, fine. I'll create. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Well met, friend.
Room. Just in the common room. Yay, no visions. I'm wondering if I should purchase somebody else. The healer's really appreciative, and I don't know when I'm going to be getting the next. I don't know. But I think I'm going to go ahead and leave the stream here for tonight. It's been a marvelous time. I hope that everybody has enjoyed it. And next time I play this, I'll either be in the temple, getting ready to go exploring, or I'll have a new companion with me. Or both. Or neither. At least one of them. But you all have had a wonderful time. See you all later. Tomorrow I'll be playing Resident Evil, and might be playing this on Wednesday. Or I might be playing The Forest or something like that. We'll see what strikes the fancy. You all have a wonderful night.